Hey ladies and gentlemen, Richard Kenobi here, and I am back again for another review for MLP, and this time we have episode 10, Princess Spike. Now, yes, of course, I'm wearing different shorts, because the other ones needed to be washed. I just wore them for the other two video reactions. So, yeah, guys, well, since the new episode, since episode 11 is coming out tomorrow, I thought might as well just give a review of this one. Now, the reason I didn't come out pretty much how I usually do, or I play some music from the episode, or a music clip from a past episode, is because there was no one that could fit with this one. And honestly, you know, guys, you all have already seen this episode. You've given your thoughts and opinions. I've seen a lot of people give reactions. So why not? Might as well just come out and just review it like this, huh? So let's go ahead and get started. Of course, I mainly will be going over how short, you know, the synopsis of this episode is, because it's so predictable. But it's a decent episode. So yeah, all of the ponies from different parts of the country have gathered around to this pony summit, and of course, you know, they have this giant statue with gems from all their different countries, and it's going to be hosted by, of course, Princess Celestia, Princess Luna, Princess Twilight, and of course Princess Cadence. And we see Spike is there helping them all out. And pretty much what happens is, you know, we see that Twilight has not slept in 3 days. You know, she's very tired, and throughout this, you know, she's taking a nap, and she must not be disturbed. And we see Spike has to do everything he can to make sure nothing disturbs her, nothing wakes her up. And from then on out, we see that he goes around, you know, fixing things, you know, saying the princess doesn't want you doing this. And, you know, but then he starts to sort of abuse his power or his relationship with Twilight, because as he thinks, whatever he tells the people who have a problem, that he'll just make up an answer and they'll believe it because they think it's coming from Princess Twilight when it's not. So of course this goes to all sorts of shenanigans with him abusing, you know, his power and just trying to go a little bit overboard. You know, we all see where this is going, and of course the climax where everything, you know, the dominoes just roll out, and yeah, disaster happens, and of course the citizens blame Princess Twilight when it's not her fault, but they don't listen to Spike. So of course, you know, Spike and Twilight, you know, they have a talk, and the moral was, like I said, you know, the moral is easy to see coming before the episode even starts. So yeah, but it was a good moral overall. And of course we see that Spike puts everything back together, and of course they all help him, so it's really sweet. You know, it's a good way to wrap it up. And, you know, I gotta say, you know, this was a decent episode. Now, this episode was not bad, you know, even though a lot of bronies or Pegasisters will say this is bad, this is good, you know, I think it's just decent, you know. It's better than the 2 Spike episodes we got in Season 4, like by a lot. It's better. But I will say, you know, that as far as this goes, I think if I had to just say, everything in this episode was fine, but it's just the moral itself was predictable. You know, we all knew what was going to happen, you know, and we all knew that consequences would eventually have to follow. So I think maybe if they steered away from that, like they did with Apple Bloom's episode, where we thought that she was just going to get her cutie mark and she was going to go do different things with it, but instead we got taken for a loop. So yeah, I really honestly think if it was like that, you know, if it was steering away from its predictability, I think this episode would have been, you know, a lot more better. But for what it was, this was a pretty damn good, decent episode. Now, it's not as good as the other previous episodes I've reviewed. You know, it's certainly not as good as Make Friends But Keep Discord, Tanks for the Memories. It's not as good as Slice of Life, literally. So when it comes to those 3 episodes, it's not as good. It's just not as good. It is better than, I would want to say, Actually, no. I think it's on level with Appalachia's Most Wanted. It's at this level, so it's okay. But overall, guys, this, like I said, this was a decent episode. I don't hate it personally. I actually, liked it. I was sucked in. I watched it, and I liked, how it was just, going around. But honestly, the predictability just sucked me out of it. But still, for what it was a pretty, good episode. I enjoyed it from beginning to end. There were a few minor things that I nitpicked, but most of all, this made me laugh a bit. So, yeah. So overall, I would give this episode a 7 out of 10. Not a 6 out of 10. It's not that decent, but it's just decent, So yes, this was a pretty good episode, and yeah, guys. So I hope you all enjoyed this, and if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. And until then, guys, I'll see you tomorrow for my review of MLP episode 11, Party Pooped. Till then, this is Richard Kenobi saying, may the Force be with you. Later, guys.